That's okay. Yeah, I have water, coffee. I'll get it. Just I'll keep it here. Okay. Good morning. Assalamu alaikum, everybody. So let's start the day four. Day four, right? Day four of the drug discovery course, multidisciplinary approaches towards drug discovery. So today's my topic is I have two topics today. This one is kind of okay. Okay, I think yeah, that's better. So टॉपिक जो है वो आज एक तो ये है ड्रग डिस्कवरी इन एकेडमिक पर्सपेक्टिव और दूसरा इंटरैक्टिव सेशन. सो interactive session I was thinking in a different way. We will do that, but then last night I talked and I think I'm going to give short presentation of some of my work, and then we will make some group, or I will ask all three instructors to come, and then you guys can pose questions. So this will be better way if they agree with me. So about the academic perspective, this may be a controversial topic for us today, but let's see how it goes. I come from industry and academic both, and other people are from industry and academic both. So let's see who has what. So yeah, please come. So this is a statement made by Tim Hammonds, who was the senior vice president of drug discovery, and the problem mostly is the funding in case of academics, and the industry has a lot of money. So academics don't have funds, and pharma cannot risk funding the project of the flavor. So pharma thinks that all project which we do in academic is a fail, okay? And academics think that pharma is not doing anything, they are just making money, right? Which is in some way it is true. So I have seen both angles. I'll try to go through a little bit and then pose some questions what you think about it. So remember this statement, okay, that academics do not have funds and pharma cannot risk funding project failures, okay? And this statement is given by very famous scientist, Tim Hammonds, who discovered several drugs, and he was vice president at AstraZeneca. So my outline will be why drug discovery, why we should do drug discovery in academia, okay? You just get the degree and go and work somewhere as a professor, as a instructor, as a engineer. Why we do that? So now, challenges of drug discovery in academia. Funding is a major issue for academia. In industry, I used to order a chemical or a compound or a device, and the timeline is 48 hours maximum. Wherever it is in the world, it will come to you. Especially for big pharma, Bayer, GlaxoSmithKline, Lundbeck, where I worked, Bristol Myers Squibb, it was like that. Just it will come to you, and next day it will be on your bench or your table or in your office. What is the recipe for success if we are in academia? We talked about it, how much academia has given to industry. Maybe I will say from industry that we are ungrateful, okay? We are really ungrateful. We don't care about academics. 80% of drug, I will show some of the graph maybe later, that 80% of drugs have origin from academia, okay? Or it was discovered also in an industry. I'm not saying they are totally useless, but origin is from academia. So basic research industry don't do. Basic research is done by Dr. Azhar usually, and then we pick up from their literature and we do that. Future opportunities and my final thoughts. Okay, so history of academic drug discovery. Academic drug discovery centers, ADDC, remember that, there are many now. So what happened that industry, they started exploiting academic institution So academic institutions, they started making their own consortium. I talked about Emory University, if you remember, and there are many more, and I will list some of them and you will see that. So academic bioscience research started sometime in 19th century, okay? And early 20th century, the NIH, which was National Institute of Health, was established in US to effort in biosciences research, and they are the most funding company, most funding agency to give funds to academic institution. In 1917, 1980, a spin out from universities resulted in biotech industry, and I mentioned that Genentech was the first biotech industry. It is now valued at $120 billion. It is almost mm, 50 kilometers where I live in US. And yesterday we had a old friend from Genentech, and Dr. Azhar showed me his message, and he is one of the founder of the company which we launched, and he's friend of him also, alhamdulillah. Center for Academic Drug Discovery was recorded in 1980. Florida was the first center which were recorded. So I'll tell you why Florida. Everyone knows about the cancer drug, what is, just slipped my mind. That was actually that was synthesized by University of Florida. The professor, his name was Horton. So he synthesized that. And they got a lot of money from Bristol Myers Squibb, and they built a whole new building for that. And at the same time, Emory University was also working when HIV hit the world, and I will show some name of the drugs, which was done by Dennis Liotta and Raymond Shinazi. Their photograph is there. So University of Florida started drug discovery center because it is an academic center, and they never thought that they can do that, because in universities, in academics, a professor want to get the grant, they want to publish, okay, and they get the promotion and some awards. But financial award was not there. Financial award was all taken by industry, okay. So now the thing has changed. Initially, organizations were operating under loose collaboration. For example, I am a professor in Aligarh Muslim University, and I contact Zydus Cadila that, okay, I will do some work for you, or I will discover a disease target and I will give to you and you do that. So this was kind of arrangement earlier. Now it is not like that. Everyone is holding on to their inventions. Integrated group under one management is started. For example, Research Triangle Park in North Carolina and University of Dundee in UK. Why I put these two places? Because I know people who are working there, and University of Dundee, my very good friend Mahmood Ahmad is the head of the drug discovery. We work together at GSK. As a recent count, there are about 76 ADDC, means Academic Drug Discovery Consortium or centers in US. In Europe, there are 15. Even in Middle East, there are 4, mostly in Egypt and Jordan, not in Saudi Arabia. Australia has 3, and there may be many more. I don't know. In India, also CSIR. I was one of the awardee of JRF and SRF, okay? And we did work there. I used to go when I was at IIT Kanpur. I used to go to CDRI a lot, and I used to come to Delhi also for. So CSIR is another institution which is now promoting academic drug discovery to the industry. So remember all those things, okay? So university and government laboratories are becoming credible place for innovation at early stages. I mentioned before, and my other colleagues, they mentioned, academic institutions don't have that much money. They don't have deep pockets. They don't have deep pocket to spend that much money in development. So what they do, they do initial work, and that's very important actually. sometimes it is not paying, but it is very important. That is the foundation of a medicine for a disease. What academic institutions do that, and we have to admire that. Like Dr. Azhar, he has, he found out about 10 genes in colorectal cancer. Work is still going on that, and hopefully one day there will be a medicine for that. So this is how it works. Myself, I have discovered many drugs, and most of my compounds, which are not even drugs, they are sold by I didn't have the list, I forgot to bring. There are 17 compounds which I made in my career. They are already sold by companies as a tool compound, what we call it, okay? So they are used for research purpose. They are all patented, and I see that even I have to buy those compounds. Recently, I bought for Noran, I bought 50 milligram for 6,000 reals. So when you buy your own compound, you feel bad, but you feel very elated. Okay, I made this compound in my life, and which is sold by some company. Okay, so the individual freedom, intellectual diversity, flexibility, and originality. This is the hallmark of the academic institution. They discover, they do the original work which other people don't touch it. Okay, so that's important also. And they have freedom. If they fail, so what? But in industry, if you fail, either you will be fired or you will be demoted. Intellectual diversity, we have in academic institution, we have thinking, plain thinking. We can think anything out of the box. In industry, you are just focusing on a narrow lane. Make this thing, work on this thing, make money, and move on. That's what industry is. Now, flexibility and originality is the hallmark of our academic institutions. They have expertise, and our academic institution, they have expertise in basic biology, which we don't have in industry, medical, chemical, computational, and mathematical sciences. Several times I mentioned industry don't do all those things. Okay, so we get lot of advantage from industry, from the academic. That's remember always that. So you are in an academic institution like AMU, you are serving humanity, I will say that. You are really doing good work. Industry, but now things are changing, which I'm going to explain in few more slides, that you have to protect your rights. That's important now, okay? A small investment, then incremental investment of these laboratories will bring enormous added value to institution. So now the themes are changing. So people are smart now in academic institution. They ask industry, because I'm talking about academic perspective, so I'm talking from you only. So academic institution, they ask, hey, in industry, Zydus Cadila Cipla, why don't you invest into us? So we will do some work for you, and then we will share the bounty of that. Sometimes they do that, sometimes they do a big investment. We have done recently in Saudi Arabia, we are academic institution right now. We have done investment in Flashpoint. There is a company called Flashpoint for nanotechnology from Northwestern University, and we invested 50 million with them. We are building a mirror lab like they have in Northwestern University. We are building a same lab in Kmark, and we will do the same kind of research. That's how it goes. The second agreement is done with AstraZeneca in Sweden, and there are 5 or 6 people there right now. Okay. So see, this was not there before. Okay. You cannot ask industry to invite you or invest in you. Now things have changed. They know that if we don't get things from them, we will not survive. Okay, drug discovery funded, and so this is the industry. But for us here in AMU, we have to go to charitable organization also. And I don't know about India, what is the situation here, but there are funding organizations like Bill Gates Foundation is there, Fox Foundation, and Evolution Foundation. There are many more foundations in US. Recently, I'm talking to a foundation which is called MMF, Multiple Myeloma Research Foundation. It is based in San Francisco, and Stem Cell Foundation is in US. So there are many foundations. So they are also funding. So they are charitable foundations. So they are all funding research.
In India also, like Jubilant itself, they do have a
Mm-hmm.
because some of the part which goes in a CSR,
Mm-hmm.
in industry. In a similar way, we have a outspin.
Mm-hmm.
We have some funds for the people who want to do sort of startup
Uh-huh.
with the budding ideas
Uh-huh.
we own. So
Yeah.
we also fund from a Jubilant.
Okay.
Similar line, there are many people. But
Mm-hmm.
what we have seen in these days, presently, people from US who have been well off now, they have been angel investor for many of these
Yes. Yeah.
companies.
Yeah.
So that is what, just to add.
Uh-huh. Angel investors, actually, yesterday I talked about angel investors are people who have, they are private people, they don't have to do any research. For example, in some cases, somebody's parent or father or mother or sister and they have big money and they died unfortunately due to some disease. Fox Foundation is one of the example because he had this disease, so he made the Fox Foundation. So similarly, angel investors are there, and this kind of culture has to be developed in India and Saudi Arabia also. So we started talking to people who have really big amount of money sitting somewhere doing nothing, so they should start investing in research. And there's a organization called Sanad in Saudi Arabia. They started funding glioblastoma, a cancer of brain. So one of our friend, he got about 300,000, 3 lakh dollars from them to do some research. So this is another thing that we have to think about, that how we can get money from the angel investors, venture capitalists, and charitable foundations. A very good friend of mine here in AMU, Dr. Sohail Sabir, he has given 50,000, 50 lakhs, right, sir? 50 lakhs, he has given 50 lakhs. He was a teacher for 30 years in chemistry department. He has given 50 lakhs to the university to invest on you like a student, give the scholarship. And I'm working with, although I'm not a Aligarhian, but I'm working with Aligarh Alumni Association in San Francisco from 1996. We do a lot of charitable work, and we get money and fund a student. Now, actually, it will be a good idea for Dr. Azhar to talk to Alumni Association to fund research also. They are funding almost 100 students per year. Not only here, someone who is very smart, they can fund there also. So this also happened recently, it started. So I think it is time for Alumni Association to fund research. And then there's a government route will address unmet medical need for a small patient population. You remember yesterday we talked about that how we are going to fund a precision medicine. Somebody asked about personalized medicine. This is a small population of patient which government is not going to spend any money, industry is not going to spend any money. Who will spend? Me and you, okay? Or the Alumni Association or charitable foundations. Okay. This is, I think, it's not very clear. It is in, I will try to read from my screen. Uh, let's see, how can I go to full screen? How can I go to full screen? Anybody can help me. Yeah, I'll just take a, so that I can read. Yes, okay. I'll go back to the presentation mode. Okay. Yeah, yeah. Okay. So yeah, that's what I was forgetting the name of the drug. So anybody knows about Taxol story? Taxol story? No?
I know the Abraxane story. That's the story you
Yeah.
say.
Why I'm asking that there was an Indian involved in the isolation of Taxol, Mukesh Wani and the Robert Wood. There are two people. Taxol is a cancer compound which is isolated from the Pacific U, where I live. But if you keep on isolating from Pacific U, all the trees are gone. So after isolation, initial work was done on the Taxol. Then chemists came and they started synthesizing so that they can synthesize and give it to the patient. So this is a target which is a microtubule stabilizer. And Mukesh Wani was working at Research Triangle Park, and this was licensed by my previous employer, Bristol Myers Squibb, and they gave about $350 million to Research Triangle Park, and of course, part of that Mukesh and the other person got. So this is like came from the academic, and academic gained from it. Especially there are other drugs are given here. You can see that. So these are all academic drugs. They came from academics. Wodinstat or Saha, this is stone diastase oncology. It was discovered at Sloan Kettering Research Center and licensed by Merck. Okay. For example, cisplatin or paraplatin, you call it. This is a DNA very, very well-known DNA alkylating agent used everywhere in the world. It was an Institute of Cancer at Research, UK it was, and again licensed by Bristol Myers Squibb, and they got a lot of money. This is for example, another drug, methyl alkylation oncology drug, that was discovered at Aston University, UK, sharing flow. They paid them hefty amount of money. This is another drug, cardiovascular drug, which was developed at UK, and it was given to Pfizer. Similarly, Alimata, that was another dihydrofolate reductase inhibitor, and that was developed at Princeton University. So I just want to show you that how much work our academic institution has done, and every drug is billion-dollar selling drug. Okay, so you can understand that what is the value of okay, yeah, this is called AZT. Everyone knows that it revolutionized the patient, health because it was a reverse transcriptase inhibitor. And this was discovered at Michigan Cancer Foundation, and it was given to GSK. And then this was given to all over the Africa, and it saved millions of life, and it was made very, very cheap by Gate Foundation. Okay. Can I hear again full? Then after that, this is the last one, and then I will have the. Just so that everyone can read. Okay, I think that will be good enough. So these are the what I showed so far was the old drugs. They are already on market. Uh, then there are new ADCs come up, and this is a caliber at Scripps Institute. They are working on several, and you can see in the last line which stage they are. You will have these slides, and you will see that. So it is in phase 3 clinical trial. The other one is at University of Pennsylvania, Center for Cellular Immunotherapy. Chimera is a very well-known medicine right now. CAR-T cell, you heard about CAR-T cell yesterday. It is for B-cell lymphomas, and this is already FDA approved. So this is the second gene therapy which was approved, fully discovered at a academic institution. Okay. And this kind of work industry cannot do. I'm telling you, I spent half of my life, 2/3 of my life in industry, and they cannot discover that. Emory University, I want to talk about that because they were the first one to start a consortium kind of thing, and they were very smart. They already had the special people who know how to deal with the industry. Attorneys, experts, key opinion leaders, and they discovered several drugs, and one of them was Epivor. MTVAR is another one, and they were HIV and HBV, and the person who discovered his photo I am going to show you in next few slides. Maybe it is here. So they are FDA approved. And these drugs, they changed the life of the patients, and it was given very at a very cheap price to the, especially in the Africa. I'm sure it in India also, and it was all synthesized and manufactured by Cipla here. And they licensed it. So, but they got a lot of money out of it. There was a litigation between them and so NIH because the work was funded by NIH. This is another important area to understand. The research work was funded by a grant from NIH. So they should have a pie also from the everything. So they fought, Emory University fought with them, but Emory won because the idea was there, the funding was done by NIH, so why they should get, their job is to fund research. So Emory won in the US Supreme Court. So this is one, just I wanted to make sure that you understand the dynamics of these discoveries also. There is a high throughput screening center, so if you make a compound or antibody, they will do for you free of charge. Similarly, NCI, National Cancer Institute, they can test your compound free of charge. Okay, Warren Center for Neuroscience and Drug Discovery. So my point is that every area of research, there are some institutions who are doing that, okay, academic institution. So you can see that there's a drug already in phase 1 trial of Alzheimer, and somebody was talking about dementia, so maybe you can get in touch with them and talk to them about what they are doing, and maybe they will help you. So everybody who has that some idea, it is there. Okay, yeah. So funding is a major issue for academic institution. Successful ADC should have multiple funding streams, not, I already mentioned not only NIH, NSF, or Department of Defense. This is about US or in Saudi Arabia, we have Saudi NIH, SNIH, and Research Development Innovation Authority and other institutions which are government institutions. Funding with disease-focused foundation or entities like I already mentioned, the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation, Tropical Disease Foundation, Rare Disease Foundation, King Salman Foundation for Disability. So like tropical disease and rare disease, nobody want to fund it. So you have to find someone who can fund these things. Only yesterday we were talking about AMR. So after cancer, AMR is the most difficult thing to treat, and we don't have anybody to fund that. Actually, in last 30 years, first antibiotic which was discovered by Wokhard in India, nephtheramycin, first time. Okay, in 30 years, all big companies, they didn't discover any antibiotic. All you are taking is first generation, second generation penicillin or whatever. Even tetracycline is coming back now. I was talking to a physician in Saudi Arabia. Partnership with disease-specific pharmaceutical, it is very important for academic. My friends from academic, they have to partner with the pharmaceutical company. Partnership with disease-specific philanthropic organizations, Fox Foundation, and funding with angel investors. Dr. Zain just was telling, so I said that I have a slide for that. You have to find who can fund your research, and there are people who have money and they will fund. And we are trying everywhere in the world and in US also. Recipe for success, focus on commercial potential with a strategic project. So when you design a project, think about it that you are not going to get only paper, you are going to get a product, okay? So that's important. And then people will fund you because they will see the money, okay? He's talking about something which will make money for us, but your job is, you are very nice that you are going to do, you are thinking about funding, you are thinking about treating a patient, but they think about money. So this is a dynamics you have to use. Focus project with unique expertise. So this is also important. Not everything is important. You have to think about really niche project, okay? Think about, from any, I'm not talking about from microbiology or any other perspective or chemistry perspective. You can think about a device which can detect blood sugar or hemoglobin A1C. There are devices there already, people made. There was a, Google has made some kind of device you put on the eye and it will discover how much blood you have. People have their sensors. Maybe simpler, there are many outside, but you can simplify it and make it cheaper. That's the important part. Focus project with unique expertise, niche specialization, I already talked about. The unmet need, there are specialized, very few people are there, so you can work on that. Build in-house comprehensive drug development infrastructure, and that is for the administration here, that they should build an infrastructure. I was so happy to see Dr. Azhar's lab, that he has almost what he's doing. So please be in touch with him. He might be helpful on your projects. Regional ecosystem, that means that in UP, for example, you have to find people who are really interested. I can give you some names. CDRI is there. There is an institute in Roorkee, I think. They are doing, because I'm looking at the literature and I know that who are really doing good work. And Toxicological Research Institute in Lucknow, that is also there. And there may be many more, I may be missing some of them. You have to get in touch with them and make a consortium with them. So this is regional ecosystem. If you go, from Aligarh, if you go to Kerala, it is too far. It may work. The SAMI lab is there, for example. They can fund out. If you go to Himalaya, which is in Bangalore based, they will do that. But regional ecosystem is also very important. Within university, outside university, between two university, between industry. Those kind of things can be done. Okay. Integration of regulatory affairs, project management, clinical development, fundraising, and market analysis in ADCC, all has to be done by the administration of the university, so that the researchers are free of doing that. Most important, adoption of emergency technology with ADC, so emerging technology. So I talked about yesterday, 17 of them. So pick one and think about it whether you can do it or not. That's important. I keep on emphasizing whether you can do it or not. Okay, let's some stories here. Emory of successful academic drug discovery. These two people are far apart. They don't have any connection in this science. Dennis Liotta is a hardcore organic chemist like me. Raymond Shinazi is a pediatrician. They got together and they developed several drugs. He's a virologist. Raymond Shinazi is a virologist. They developed 3 HIV drugs. and which saves millions of lives. They both have collaborated. They were within academic collaboration. Raymond was courageous to set up first HIV lab to test compound. So when HIV virus and now MERS, SARS virus hit, it was not easy to set up a assay lab because this is called BSL-3 lab or biosafety level 3 lab. Not everybody can work. They have to be specialized, trained in that area. But he was, and at that time, forget about that. This was like 30, 40 years ago, right? 1980s it hit. So he was courageous to work with a live virus. Live virus means he can be infected also at the same time. There was no drug. What happened to SARS? People started doing, they were infected, but we didn't have any drug, right? So this person took risk of his life to set up the lab. Sometime academics, they do that. In industry, nobody will do that, I can assure you. Their collaboration resulted in Epivir and Emtiravir medication used by 400 million people. This may be old data, maybe a billion people, I will say. Okay? And it resulted in largest deal ever for a academic institution, $525 million, $500 million royalty for Emtiravir, and large portion was reinvested in research lab. So Dennis Liotta, he is a very honest person. He didn't take away all money, or Raymond also. He didn't take away all money. They invested, they built a whole new building in Emory University. You can go and see that. It is with their name. Second is Pittsburgh story. This is a quest for amyloid imaging. I think people were talking about that Alzheimer. So Dr. Chester Mathis, he was a radiochemist, and William Clark is a psychiatrist. No connection at all between them. A chemist, a psychiatrist, okay? He was MD psychiatrist. No connection at all. They got together, they worked together to create first PET tracer molecule to diagnose Alzheimer's disease. PET tracer molecule, anybody remember I mentioned in my first talk also? What is the meaning of PET? Perfect, very good, thank you. So that is a radioactive molecule which is injected, and it will light up where it will bind to the disease area, okay? So this is called PET tracer, and SPECT is also there. They emit gamma emission. PET tracer, they emit gamma emission. There is a radioactive counter there that will measure, okay, where it binds. So first PET tracer diagnose Alzheimer. This molecule crosses blood-brain barrier and stick to beta amyloid. So you know that Alzheimer's disease is a disease of brain. So the molecule has to cross the blood-brain barrier. I am not going to talk about that. This is another big problem for chemists. You have to make a molecule that crosses the blood-brain barrier. See how nature has protected your brain. Not everything goes inside your brain, okay? So that's the thing but you have to make that to work like that. The score is there, and they provide the severity of that. I think I have 2-3 more slides to go. So reverse, and there is something called reverse academic collaboration. And you have to go in the niche area, okay? And real-time interaction should be important. So this is very unusual in academic. I will give you the example who did that. This is very unusual help from academic to the industry. Usually biology is from academia institution, chemistry from pharma industry, right? Every medicinal chemist identified a trisubstituted cyclopropane cystic fibrosis. This is the very latest, just last month it was published in JMET Chem. So they discovered this molecule from their library, and they made a small scale, but they didn't know how to make large scale. So now, this AbbVie or Abbott is a big company. They are medicinal chemists. They didn't know how to make it in large scale. This was very nice. So this is, we call it a reverse academic collaboration. So they came to Emory University. This was a challenging chemical space to develop the drug, and AbbVie took help from Davis Group in Emory University. he asked Davis that can you scale it up from milligram to 5 kilogram, for example. This rarely happens, so this was one of the case. A flow process was developed, which you can see here. I'm not going to go into detail. When you get to the slides, you will know that. So collaboration accelerated unique target synthesis. So there's a very complicated thing they did, but actually it is very simple. They used some kind of flow, like we call it a flow syringe, and they started doing that, and they could make intermediate, which was very difficult to make, which is last in orange color. Okay, so this was all done at the academic institution, not in the industry. Okay, industry could not do that. So 50 gram compound fit for purpose was delivered to them. Then kilogram synthesis they have done in a flow chemistry system, and finally they made the project and lines. And of course, Abbott was very happy with that, and they paid them a lot of money. Okay, how academic and pharma can work together. So this is a chart. If you see that how, where and how they can work. So this is academic institution. They do fundamental research, right? And then presentation, publication is our hallmark. We want to do that. And then position and promotion and funding. That's what we are looking for. But we have to look a bigger picture in academic institution also, which is that you think about the clinical and clinical candidate and clinical trial. You have to talk to clinical trial expert, and Dr. Azhar told me that we are going to talk some clinician tonight, and this is what it is, that the academic institution is talking to clinician, and the pharma and biotech will take your patent, your invention, and they will, of course, they will pay you, but they will develop it because we don't have the resources to develop. So this is what happens, that pharma industry takes your invention and then they test, confirm, then they go to patient validation, efficacy, safety, and all those. Yesterday, Dr. Zain talked about it a lot. Business development decision is made by company because they are looking for money, okay? And then human proof of concept, which will involve both academic and the institution and the industry, and then finally we get a target, hopefully. So this is the chart how it should work. So future opportunity for academic and drug. Let me see. Okay, I'm on time. The era of dominance of big pharma is waning. Why I am saying waning? Because they are not doing basic research, and you are doing basic research only. Okay, so the era of that is slowly it is going down. Cost of development of drug is skyrocketing. So you need to do, academic institution need to do a lot of research. Legislative pressures are there. You heard Trump is asking everybody to reduce the price of the drug, and in India also I heard that government organization and universities are emerging as a key player in drug discovery. So your future is very bright. That's what I will say. In US, NIH funding has become credible source of novel mechanism and health diseases. Many things came from NIH funding. This was later exploited by for innovative medicines, for academics, rare disease. This is my advice. Rare disease, tropical disease, neglected disease, some infectious disease will be a gold mine to work on. So you can think about it. Of course, you have to work on cancer and cardiovascular, but this area can pay you, and it can discover something new. Academics should work on public-private organization like Medicine for Malaria, MMB. This is another organization, and a drug for neglected disease, DI. The future of ADCC will be based on two factors. One is funding source, other is strategies to drive translational drug discovery. Translational drug discovery, we talked about it. We can discuss more. That is my last slide, and any questions? So I'm 45 minutes now. Okay. Any questions? I know it was little bit, different, kind of boring also, but this is what I gave you an idea how important you are in this research in drug discovery. Okay, and drug discovery is going through. Now it will go through the academic institutions. Okay, thank you so much. I think I will let Dr. Zain to talk about his work.
No questions, I'm surprised.
Yeah, I'm surprised too. Looks like everybody is sleeping, so they need another coffee or 5-minute break.
Yeah, we can do that.
Yeah.
Don't go outside.
Yeah, don't go outside. That's right.
It's hard to collect.
Yeah. Yeah, somebody was asking. Yeah.
Hello.
Mosquito related, malaria.
Malaria and several other.
Yeah, there are